Hello, everybody. This is Nick Totaro, Professor of Information Technologies and Computer Science. All right, we're now into phase 2. And in this video, we are going to analyze or even deep dive into Excel spreadsheets. All right. Now, think about what Excel spreadsheets are meant to do. They're meant to hold data. So there might be stuff inside that Excel spreadsheet that we will find of interest. Now, here's where we have to suspend disbelief for a little bit. This is a classroom. These are demonstrations. We can't spend hours deep diving into an Excel spreadsheet to find the most minor pieces of data that might help us with a civil investigation or criminal investigation. But in a real world situation where something is important, yes, we may be spending time. So we're not going to be spending hours diving into this. We're going to create some executive summaries based upon what we viewed and things like that. So we're going to do a whole bunch of things, but we're not going to be spending hours on this. So we're going to start by going up to my screen. All right. Excuse me. And here is my Topsy case. You'll notice that it's growing because I'm doing demos and stuff like that. Don't worry about that. The first thing I'm going to go to is that very top one. It says Kyoto Green Beer. And if you remember from our report, let me expand the report now. Doesn't appear to be an Excel spreadsheet. It appears to be something else, right? It appears to be an image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the hex of that file. And that file has a file signature or magic number of FFD8. I'm going to look that up in Wikipedia. All right. And sure enough, FFD8 is JPEG. So we found a piece of information associated with that first file. So I'm going to go to my report, and here I'm going to say appears to be a JPEG file with the wrong extension. Okay, and the wrong extension is .xlsx, right? And this is what I do. I'm not going to go any further on this image because it's an image file. And what I like to do, and it's completely up to you, if you want to keep working on this image, that's completely up to you. What I like to do is when I look at spreadsheets, I try to look at all my spreadsheets all at once, or that particular file type all at once. And when I look at Word or what do you call it, word processing documents, I look at all of those all at once instead of going, oh, kind of get lost on track or go in this direction, because we get into a mindset and we want to build that mindset that says, okay, I'm currently working on a given spreadsheet. So I'm not going to concern myself with this right now. I gathered particular information because it was directly associated with the spreadsheet. So, excuse me. Let's go to this Pagoda pixel art. All righty. That's this one right here. It does appear to be a spreadsheet. You know, from other videos, signature file is 54B. That's a Microsoft Office thing. The text, now, it's not showing me the whole spreadsheet here. Excuse me. But it is showing me pertinent information. It's showing me that somewhere in that spreadsheet, there is a person's name and a person's email address. Now, as we're looking for that material, this is gold. This is a nugget we just found because this ties the spreadsheet, which ties the device to a given individual. Now, there is absolutely no guarantee this is the individual. It could have been a copy or something like that. But we now have a name to a file to the device. So I'm going to clean up some changes here. I'm going to, real quickly as we do this, I'll put my hash values in there. All right. And I'm going to, in my notes down here, spreadsheet file contains name Fred O. Rensix. All right. with an email address, forn60930 at gmail.com. So we now have a particular piece of information there. Now, before I go any further, because I'm looking at this one file, I'm wondering if that is a valid email address. So I'm going to just copy and paste, our friend here, copy and paste, and go over to my other screen. Hold on one second. I'm going to go to a course site. And the reason I'm going to a course site is because I put a link in that course site underneath Forensics Tools. There's a link that says verify the email. Okay? So I'm going to click on that. And it takes me to a web address. And I'm going to put that email address in there. All I'm doing right now is I found an email address inside a spreadsheet and check it. Yep, it's a valid email address. Okay, I'll move this. So a little bit of work there. And just another note. All right, so we checked it. We checked it with the website. We can put that information in there, but I'm just kind of for a little brevity here. All right, but I want to see what that file is. And Autopsy is not allowing me to do that. I mean, some things Autopsy will open up like a PDF file and I can look at that file directly, but it's not happening here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click here and I'm going to extract that file, meaning I'm going to pull that file off and put it somewhere. And where I'm going to put it is I'm going to put it in my case, all right? Underneath the case that I've been building, there is a folder called export. So I'll put it there. File has been extracted. Now let me go to that folder. All right, there's that spreadsheet. And if I open it up, now the spreadsheet's name's kind of interesting, Pagoda Pixel Art. Oh, that's kind of interesting. There's something there. It's definitely a spreadsheet, but it seems to be printing something. There's the individual's name. So we, Topsy. Now I'm going to shrink this image a little bit. And sure enough, all this is not a image. But what the individual did is there are add-ons for Excel and Google Sheets that will allow you to take an image and create pixel art with it. So apparently this particular Excel spreadsheet did exactly that. And for argument's sake, I'm going to document that. The individual didn't do anything wrong. They just pixelated some art there. Now, it is somewhat of an image here. So I got to be aware of that. I'm going to treat it at this point, I'm going to treat it like an image. Now, here's where we could end up deep diving. Maybe, and we're not going to do it. Maybe we can drill deep. Maybe they're hiding data within that pixelated art. Pixelated art is a wonderful place to hide data and stuff like that. We don't have the luxury of time right now to do that. So we're going to suspend reality. I am going to put it here, all right, for my own notes. And I'm going to say down here under figure, whatever that figure is, we'll get a number on that. I'm just going to say pixelated artwork from spreadsheet. So that lets me or anybody else know that what that is. So I have a whole bunch of information now that I can create a executive summary of this, right? And that's exactly what I'm going to do. All I'm going to say is Excel spreadsheet of pixelated art of a pagoda. All right, maybe if I spell spreadsheet correctly. This is why I'm trying to avoid live demos anymore, okay, because I do this all the time. Excel spreadsheet of pixelated art with individuals name. It's Fred O. Rensix, and email address Rensix0930 at gmail.com. We'll say verified. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this link because I just remove the hyperlink because I don't like it about anything. It's a spreadsheet, right? We know it's a spreadsheet. We're telling what it is. It's basically some kind of pixelated art. Nothing mysterious about that. I tend to see that. We did find a person's name in there. And what we can do, we can say original document available upon request. So in some reports, they will take all the documents and they'll make them appendixes at the back of that report. Some say, no, we'll keep them. If you need the original, obviously we can get that. I just don't want this report getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So in this particular case, I have my forensics. I have my, my executive summary. Again, here's where we need to suspend belief. For us in our labs, this executive summary is just fine. It's straight to the point. It shows the artwork that's built inside there. We have SHA values in there. We'll start cleaning this stuff up as we go through other material. Okay, so this is completely acceptable for our particular labs. In a real world, we may have to deep dive, but the executive summary should not exceed one paragraph. Okay, if it started exceeding one paragraph, you may want to start treating that down, put things in appendixes and stuff like that. All right, let's do one more Excel spreadsheet. Rebrickable. Okay, let's see this one. Rebrickable, and it appears to be an Excel spreadsheet. It looks like there's just text in there. I mean, some cells in there. We see the individual's name again, the same individual. If it was a different individual there, so that's good to know. The file meta, it's a hidden file, so we need to document that. It's not an image. We can, because this is text. At this point, I would not have to open up that document unless I really wanted to see if that document had more stuff in it, but it's pretty much showing me. For our, again, suspending reality a little bit here, in a real situation, we would open up that document, see if there's any graphics or anything like that in there, but we're pretty confident at this level we've gathered enough information. So this one, executive summary, we're gonna say hidden, spell it right, hidden spreadsheet file, name Fred O. Rensix, and email Rensix0930 gmail.com, verified. Now, you're saying, Nick, you've already verified that once, all right? Yeah, but you still want in your executive summary to verify those emails, even if you have the same data within two files. Don't assume that people are reading about the other files. Each file is its own separate entity. So any particular information, if you see this email address and you see this username consistently, it still should be inside all of your documentation. So it's still not a thing. And we can say it's an Excel spreadsheet, appears to have data in it. Now, if I wanted to deep dive, let's pretend I spent a little time deep diving, all right, on this. Maybe, That's kind of interesting. Has all these numbers. Maybe he's a gambler. Maybe he's a bookie. He's keeping numbers. So I do some deep dives into it. And what that is, it's a list, and I would put that here, list of Lego parts for set 10143-1 Death Star 2. All right. So let's pretend we suspend reality here. I did some investigation on that data, and that's pretty much it. I discovered that it's a parts list for a Lego set, right? Of course. And we would keep doing this. While I'm here, let me clean this up. All right. And this one, SHA-256. And that's basically it. I'm not going to go any further into this explanation, okay? Like I said, for us, 1 or 2 sentences kind of explaining what's going on here. If it was something else, then we would be, okay, let me change my report or it's going to drive me crazy, the header of my report. And I would, in phase 3, I would clean up my report to get rid of any redundant informations or wrong headers or anything like that. So we've done some investigation into our Excel spreadsheets. Now, there's more investigations that we can do, but I think at this point you get the gist. You notice that this one is a deleted file, has that individual's name in there. I can't tell what's really in there, so maybe I would have to open that up. It looks like that might be another pixel art. The green T, we found out it's a JPEG. We'll deal with images later on. So we're pretty much in a really good shape. How much time you're going to spend on Excel spreadsheet in this particular examples? Not that much time, all right? A couple minutes, put an executive summary, move some things around, and then we'll clean up any formatting at the end of at phase 3. In a real situation, Excel spreadsheets could be potentially gold mines. Can you imagine if it's criminal investigation and it is illegal invoices or something like that? It's hard for me to come up with this stuff on the fly. So you may be turning these spreadsheets over to a different investigator. Maybe there is a forensics accounting investigator that you may be working with. So you may have to draw all these Excel spreadsheets, hand them off to somebody else. You're just doing the basic forensics associated with it. There is entire areas of knowledge. I just mentioned forensics accounting. That is a whole area in accounting where they look at spreadsheets and books and stuff like that, but we're not going to worry about that. So with the USB drive that you're doing, I'm going to keep reiterating this. Keep it simple, straightforward. I don't want you spending lots of hours drilling deep into this. So with that being said, let's go out and investigate.